Well, well, well. The trade deadline is looming, and people are excited about who the Cowboys could possibly get this coming Tuesday. But something that we need to consider also is that the Cowboys could possibly be shipping out some players come Tuesday also in a trade package. And when I think about players who are legitimately what I say are good, I mean, no injuries, no injury history, and a player that you could probably consider on the rise, the only player that comes to mind to me is Jalen Tolbert. I think Jalen Tolbert may absolutely be the best trade piece the Cowboys have. And I'm going to give you a little bit of evidence of why I believe the Cowboys might trade Jalen Tolbert. Let's talk, Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And if you like this video, don't forget at the end to please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another video or go live. And if you haven't become a channel member subscriber yet, please do. We have a lot of great things coming up this season. And if you see that HYPE button, hit that too, and let's push this channel into the YouTube algorithm. Then let's talk facts. Jalen Tolbert. Jalen Tolbert, in a sense, I don't think Jalen Tolbert is a bad player. As a matter of fact, I think Jalen Tolbert is a very good player. I think Jalen Tolbert would make a great third wide receiver for a team. Problem is, the Dallas Cowboys are absolutely stacked. And what really pushed Jalen Tolbert into that third spot, and now has even pushed him away from that third spot, is the fact that George Pickens is an elite receiver, and the Cowboys got him and are going to more than likely sign him. And then Jalen Tolbert, thinking he was the solidified third, where Brian Schottenheimer had another plan, and Brian Schottenheimer wants Kevontae Turpin on the field more. Not only does he want Kevontae Turpin on the field more, but Ryan Flanoy, who the Cowboys drafted last year, has really taken some steps, and he is looking really good. And then they traded for Jonathan Mingo. And so Jalen Tolbert, I don't think he's a bad player, but I just think a part of this is the plan. Because when a coach has a plan, your leash and your leeway is very short. And so sometimes you may find yourself without playing time just simply based on the fact of the plan and players that fit the plan. The players may not even be necessarily better than you, but the plan, those players fit that coach's plan, and you may find yourself on the outside looking in. Well, I think there's a combination of these things that have transpired with Jalen Tolbert. And so I want to show you a couple of things that I believe are a telltale sign that Jalen Tolbert could possibly be on his way out the door. I'm going to show you his snap count, and then I'm going to show you something that Bobby Belt said today on 105.3 The Fan. Check this out. Now, when you look at this, I mean, the Cowboys are absolutely loaded at wide receiver, especially when you look at these top five: George Pickens, Tolbert, Lamb, Turpin, and Ryan Flanoy. Well, I want you to look at the snap count for Jalen Tolbert in particular last week. He had 14 snaps, 19% of the snaps. Ryan Flanoy, 34 snaps. Turpin, 30 snaps. And Ryan Flanoy, I think, is going to continue to get more snaps. And this just points to Jalen Tolbert's snaps being lessened. And as you can see, the Cowboys have a whole stable of receivers. And I talked about this yesterday on live. I was talking about that Tolbert, to me, is the best trade piece the Cowboys have, you know, especially because we know they're keeping a lot of these players. But if there's a player that has been made expendable, and some of it is because of what I said, I mean, Pickens kind of pushed the pecking order down. The plan of Shoddy to let Turpin play more wide receiver, the emergence of Ryan Flanoy, and especially with Ryan Flanoy being on a rookie deal, second year. Mingo got him on a cheap deal. He's coming back. Cowboys gave up a fourth round pick for him. The Cowboys want to see what he looks like. I mean, Jalen Tolbert is really finding himself on the outside. And again, I talked about this yesterday. I was like, Jalen Tolbert is the perfect trade candidate. But then I'm listening to 105.3 The Fan, and Bobby Belt said this.
Talks about. So Todd Archer mentions that Jalen Tolbert should be watched as a trade candidate, which is a name we've talked about and why it would make sense for them to deal him. There's a little bit, I don't like revealing trade secrets, but there's a tell each week. I don't want to say what it is, but there's a tell each week as to who might be active or inactive based on practice. And
is this your own, or is this like a Cowboy specific trade secret?
No, it's one that you've been able to spot, and it's usually pretty accurate. Jalen Tolbert had that tell yesterday at practice, and so without saying what it is, I don't know that Jalen Tolbert would be active this week against the Cardinals. And so again, it does make me think there's at least some sort of falling out of favor or preservation there. I wouldn't be surprised if that feels like a move that very much could happen as Dallas trading away Jalen Tolbert sometime in the next week and a half.
I could see it even before Bobby Belt said this about practice. I mean, look at the snap count. I mean, a drastic drop. And I want you to think back to the Commanders game. Jalen Tolbert committed a holding call on a play that Jaden blew. I mean, it was a very good scamper. It was the difference in him being at 28 yards and maybe him being closer to 50 yards. Jalen Tolbert. And I'm telling you, when you got as many players at the wide receiver spot like the Cowboys have, and they're good, man, there's very little margin for error. Very little margin for error. So it doesn't surprise me what Bobby Belt is saying. Let's listen to the rest.
Look, for what?
I mean, if you get anything in return, knowing he's not coming back.
Okay.
So I mean, if you get anything in return and he's really not playing that often, I take whatever, even if it's a 7, just anything that's something in return that I might be able to use.
I wouldn't have an issue with that. I mean, there's a numbers game. They've got other guys. If you were to take him and Flanoy and Turpin and all put them on the market, you know, who gets the most in return, and who's most likely to be here and who's most likely not. Anybody that is not in your plans for next year should absolutely be talked about. And I think that goes for any team in any sport as you near the deadline.
Yeah. I think this is also a telltale sign. I mean, I don't care what anyone says. The Cowboys are signing George Pickens. George Pickens cracked the door. CeeDee Lamb kicked it down. CeeDee Lamb doesn't mind George Pickens making more than him. And with the emergence of Ryan Flanoy, he's only going to be better next year. The Cowboys are going to have a very good wide receiver core. And I still think they need to start pulling back on Kevontae Turpin, because I just think they need to. He's not a traditional third receiver. We saw the pass last week he dropped. He's dropped some of those in the past. Pull back on Turpin. Let him be more of a specialized player, and let Turpin, who is a bigger, he's not faster, but he's a bigger and definitely more reliable wide receiver. Go ahead and let Flanoy get that spot. Sprinkle in some, continue to keep Turpin sprinkled in there. Maybe reduce him to around 20 snaps. Get Jonathan Mingo involved in there too. But I think that the time is running out on Kevontae Turpin. I mean, I think the time is running out on Jalen Tolbert. And I think the Cowboys are probably going to consider trading him. Not to mention, I think he's probably one of the better trade pieces, especially of players that may not be a part of the plan next year. I think Jalen Tolbert is actually at the top of the list. And I think there are some teams that may absolutely want Jalen Tolbert and can really make him even better than he was with the Cowboys. And I'm telling you, he did pretty good last year, especially if you compare him to third wide receivers. He's probably better than quite a bit of third receivers in this league. Y'all tell me what you think. My sister Lisa Worley, cover your ears. You might not want to watch this video, but Jalen Tolbert may be on the trading block or part of a trade package that the Cowboys put together to bring in a player. Y'all tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, hit that HYPE button, hit that hype button. And until the next time, TC4L, God bless. Let's talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Peace.